Have we convinced you that the way you feel is everything? Do you believe that when you feel good, you are in a vibrational place of allowing what you want in? Please believe it, because there is nothing that could be more accurate. So we're going to be a little heavy today. I'm going to emphasize it a great deal, because it really is what the art of allowing is about. We want you to leave here, if not already really good at it, at least determined to get better at it, at being one who molds your energy. Let's say it in a different way, of being one who creates your own mood. Because you understand that when you create a mood of joy, you're allowing everything that you've been asking for to come in. When you create a mood of love, you're allowing everything that you want to flow in. When you create a mood of expectancy, you're allowing everything you want. When you feel ornery, when you feel pessimistic, when you feel afraid, when you feel angry, even when you're frustrated and overwhelmed, those are indications that you've got your frequency set in a different place, and sincere, concentrated, deliberate molding is in order. So if someone says to you, what are you working on these days? Tell them, I'm working on my own mood and attitude. And if they're wise enough to ask you why, tell them, because that's my true, in the moment indication of how many of the wonderful things that I have been praying for and asking for, I'm allowing into my experience right now. Tell them, I'm no longer dictating my focus by whether it's interesting or whether it's important or whether somebody else is pointing at it or whether somebody else has made a big deal about it. I'm no longer guiding my sculpture of my life by any outside factor or guidance. I'm guiding it completely by the way I feel. And when you get there, now you are ready to travel with us on an emotional journey that will take you into the resources and the realm of all things wonderful that you have ever imagined. There is nothing that you cannot be or do or have. And there is nothing that is keeping you from the accomplishment or the achieving of anything other than your own attitude, other than your own mood, other than your own focus, other than your own emotional response to what you're giving your attention to. So leave this gathering today deciding that you're no longer one whose feelings can be hurt, because your feelings are no longer up for grab. Because your feelings are not dependent upon what somebody else thinks or does. Your feelings are dependent upon your choice of focus. And since that person that may hurt your feelings also could not hurt your feelings, you've got choices in your imagination. And since that person that may have just hurt your feelings has also done things that thrilled you, you have choices in your memory. And because that person who's trying to hurt your feelings right now is not the only person in your awareness right now, you've got choices right now. You have choices. Imagine taking your canoe down to a very fast-moving river. And as you are approaching the stream with your canoe or your rubber raft, it doesn't matter, you have your paddles already in it, you put it in the stream and you deliberately point it upstream and start paddling. And we say to you, why not turn and go with the flow? And our human friends invariably will say, oh, Abraham, that just seems lazy. Anybody could do that. And besides that, everybody that I know that's worth anything is paddling upstream. We take classes in it. We build our muscles up to do it. And we compare ourselves to one another constantly to see how well we are doing in fighting the current. And we say, but if you would just let go of the paddles, the stream would turn you and you could have a very nice ride on the stream. And our friends, our physical friends, almost always say, but Abraham, you don't understand. My mother paddled upstream, her mother paddled upstream. Everybody that has any prowess in this physical world at all, every monument that's ever been built was for somebody that paddled upstream. You want a best-selling book? You got to paddle upstream. You have to dig deep, deep holes for yourself, and when you climb out, they give you plaques and awards and things. And our human friends tell us, they say, we've heard there's even more rewards in heaven for those who paddle upstream. And we say, and we know, nothing that you want is upstream. Nothing that you want is upstream. Everything that you are asking for is in that flow. And the reason we know that is because we've seen the stream. We know how it progressed. We know that it brought you into this body. And we know that when you give birth to a rocket of desire, it becomes part of that stream. And we know that the source energy part of you has become that which you are asking for. And by law of attraction is summoning you to the expanded version of you. And that is what created the stream. Do you get that? Law of attraction is the basis of this stream. So you are consciousness which comes into this body and thinks a thought that then attracts unto itself. And when you go with that flow, you feel the power of that stream. Jerry and Esther and friends had a wonderful day riding on a very fast-moving river in Colorado. And as they were driving up the canyon in the bus, along with all of the others victims who would soon be in the stream, they were looking at this stream in amazement. They could not believe the speed of it, the ferocity of it, the way the water was spouting up as it was going over the boulders and around the bridge abutments. Esther and Jerry turned to one another more than once and said, we must be out of our minds. And as they put their raft into the river, it was perfectly clear to them. There was no way they were going to paddle upstream in this river. This river was going to have its way with them. And we want to tell you, your river is going to have its way with you too. Because it's a current that got going before you even came into this body, and it's a current that you've added to from the life experience that you've been living as you've been becoming and becoming and becoming and becoming. And this stream is flowing, and you got to go with it if you're going to feel good. You can't buck the current, and when you do, you don't feel good. As Jerry and Esther and their friends were flowing down this river, this raging river, their guide pointed out to them, notice these big rocks in the river. He said, they are rooted to the floor of this riverbed. They're not flowing. And if our raft gets up against them, we have no way of turning the river off. And that fast-moving stream will upend us. It will dump you in the river. Or worse, it will wedge you in the rocks and the river will just beat the life out of you. And then he called their attention to page 5, paragraph 3 of the release form they'd signed, where the likelihood of them surviving this river trip was very remote. Esther didn't read it. She just signed it. Whatever. She said, whatever. First paragraph was too upsetting to read the rest of it. And our point is, when the living of your life causes you to get this stream moving really fast, and then you get hung up on some issue that has you clinging to the floor of the river doesn't stop. It beats you up. And that's why sometimes friends say to us, Abraham, why is it that when I began doing this work, all hell broke loose in my life? And we say, because when you begin thinking about what you want and why you want it, when you begin allowing yourself to sift through the data of life and let the desire begin to flow in the way that it eternally must, and you don't go with that faster and faster and faster moving river. In other words, a car that's going 100 miles an hour and hits a tree is a bigger problem than a car that goes 5 miles an hour and hits a tree. So the more you live life and the more deliberate you become, the more you deliberately weigh what you're living and identify what you want, the faster your current begins to move. And the faster your current begins to move, the more important it is that you turn and go with the flow. You cannot stop preferring. It's happening at many levels of your being. And these preferences are then emitting from you. It is like desiring something and not necessarily speaking about it. You can be hungry and emitting a vibration that is calling for food. You can be overfed and offering a vibration that is asking for a ceasing of food. You can be lonely and offering a vibration that is asking for companionship. You can be overwhelmed with people in your life and you could be asking for some solitude. And whether you are talking about it or not, you and every consciousness, which includes the one-celled amoeba in the ocean, every consciousness is having its personal experience and is coming to personal, selfish, wonderful thing, conclusion, and Source is answering every one of those preferences. So the real question that we're wanting to ask you here today, and your answer is so important, is, have you come to the place yet where even those unfulfilled, not yet manifested desires are pleasing to you? If you can say yes, then you may leave. If you can say yes to that, then you are now finally understanding who you are and what this creative experience is all about. If you can say, yes, of course I want more money. Yes, of course I want an improved relationship. Yes, of course I would like to live in a house that includes these other wonderful options. However, I am not unhappy where I stand. I am eagerly anticipating the universal circumstances and events which will provide the platform by which I can receive all of these wonderful things. But as I stand right here, right now, I am not unhappy about the absence of something wanted. You know, in a vibrational universe, there is no such thing as exclusion. Everything is yes. When you look at something that you want and you say yes to it, you include it in your vibration. But when you look at something you don't want and you say no to it, you include it in your vibration. If you want more money, but you are so aware that you don't have enough money, so what you're talking about is not enough money. You're talking about how expensive things are. You're talking about how that person has money and they don't deserve it. They inherited it from their dead mother. Never had to work a day in their life. They have no real work ethic. They're just rich buggers. When you have those feelings that feel bad to you when you feel them, when you think thoughts that feel bad when you think them, you're not a vibrational match to what you think you want. You cannot be beating the drum of not enough money and writing affirmations, I want more money, I will have more money is making its way to me, because the way you feel is your true indicator of what your vibrational offering is. And there are so many of you who are offering contradictory vibrations. And do you know, that's the only thing that ever hinders you. It's the only thing that keeps you from the things that you are really wanting. It doesn't matter what anybody else is doing with their vibration. That does not affect you. It only matters what you are doing with your vibration. So you cannot desire something and notice that it isn't coming without offering two contradictory vibrations that won't let it come. Interesting, isn't it? So how do you get something that you don't have? You've got to stop feeling grief over not having it. You've got to be all right about not having it. You've got to get excited about the evolution of your experience. You have to develop an attitude and really mean it that says, I'm wonderful, things are perfect as they are and getting better every day. You have to feel it and really mean it, because if you're saying it and don't mean it, if you're saying it and you don't feel it, then you've got contradictory vibration going on within you. You cannot feel overwhelmed and have things get easier. Your overwhelmment is your indication that you're offering a vibration that is not letting it get easier. And you can complain all day, every day. You usually do. You can get all kinds of people to help you. It won't help you. You can put all kinds of action into place. There's not enough action in the world to buck your contradictory current. So, we call this gathering the art of allowing, but what it really is the art, the game, the process, the method of cleaning up my vibration. That's what it is. It's cleaning up my vibration so that when I say I want something, I'm a vibrational match to what I say I want, not to its opposite. Now, when you think about it, when do you most want more money? When something has happened that makes you aware that you don't have enough. So, right off the bat, you're fighting an uphill battle, aren't you? When do you most want to be well? When do you make your affirmations? When do you write it down? When do you resolve, besides New Year's Eve, when do you resolve that things will get better for you? Isn't it always when they are at their heightened worst place? So we want to help you let yourself off the hook by